It's called the anatomy of decision making. Like I said, there's an anatomy to decision making. And just to be real quick on this concept, it was basically two lanes. We make decisions two ways. And it's through the central route, which is all about logic and evaluating things. So evidence, facts, all that stuff. And then it's the peripheral route, which is all about gut feelings and, emotional triggers. Now, persuasion happens a lot easier and faster on the peripheral route than the central route. So, for example, if a parent is trying to get their kids to eat they vegetables, they'll try to persuade the kid using the central route of logic and evidence. You need to eat your vegetables, little Jimmy. It's gonna allow you to be healthy. And then if that route doesn't work, then they go to they'll try to bribe the kid, which is the next central route try. Like, oh, well, if you eat your vegetables, I'll let you have a extra scoop of ice cream. And if that don't work, then they try to just make a threat. Like, oh, well, if you don't eat your vegetables, then, I'm gonna, you're not gonna be able to go outside tomorrow and play with Timmy. That still don't work. So now what the parent gotta do? But what the parent isn't understanding is that you don't have your kid not eating vegetable problem. You as the parent, you got a messaging problem. Like, you don't understand how to use your voice, your words to like you said, communicate effectively to get the outcome that you want. You don't understand that you have to persuade this kid, and you can't persuade them through the central route of logic and evaluating. Because again, the kid they not there yet. Logically speaking, there's no rationale to a little boy that don't want to eat his broccoli. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to do is you got to come from the peripheral route. You got to come from the perspective of, like you said, of gut instincts and emotional triggers. So, for example, little Jimmy, he doesn't want to eat the broccoli, but then you notice that their older brother John, little Timmy is always trying to beat John to do it at anything they got going on. You know what I'm saying? If it's going outside, if it's going to go wash their hands for dinner, if it's going to room to get ready for bed, you notice. So you got to start, to manipulate, not manipulate, but their perception is manipulation. But it all comes back to intent. So is your intent to illuminate their potential, or is your intent to exploit their blind spot? So yes, you can manipulate to illuminate them, or you can manipulate them to exploit them. So that's the difference here. So yes, perception is manipulation. But again, back to the example. So how do you get little Jimmy to eat the vegetables, the broccoli? You don't come at him from the central route of logic and facts and everything like that. You got to come from him from the peripheral route where it's, oh, you know what, little Jimmy, I noticed that you're always losing to your older brother. Like, when you guys are racing, playing outside, like, do you like losing? Nah, I wanna beat this guy, Oh, if you're looking kind of slow. You're not looking real strong. Do you think if you were stronger and had more energy and a little bit more strength, you think you could be able to beat your brother? Yeah. Well, how do you think, little Timmy, you can get stronger and have more energy and power to beat your brother? I don't know. Then they'll be like, you could be like, I've heard that, eating vegetables is a good way to, make yourself stronger, to improve your abilities. You can get stronger, you can get faster, you can get quicker. I've heard, that vegetables have that type of effect on you, little Timmy. So what do you think you can do in order to beat your brother if you need to be stronger, faster, and better? Like, I should probably, you know what, Unc? I should probably eat my vegetables. You think so, little Jimmy? Yeah, because if I eat my vegetables, then that means that I'm gonna be able to be stronger and quicker. And and then so now you've just manipulated and persuaded little Jimmy to eat their vegetables, and it was his decision. Like I said, you didn't do anything but re-engineer the narrative in a sense. You just re-engineered the narrative and you changed your strategy. So you went from focusing on logic, the central route of him needing to be eat these vegetables so he can be healthy. You just pivoted from that to more so like I said, you made it so you it's like you struck his soul. You start talking to his soul, not his mind, but his soul, in that you identify something that he wanted to do. He wants to beat his older sibling, but he ain't able to do that. So you just showed him how to beat it. So ultimately, the easiest way to persuade or manipulate people to illuminate their potential, not to exploit their blind spots, is to make them the hero of their story. And then you just have to use your idea as the sword that they use to chop down the villain of their story. Like, that's it. Like, that's how you do it. So if you're that parent, or if you're that business leader, or that's that husband, that wife, or anybody, any position, any relationship, like, you gotta stop your ego's desire to be the hero in all cases, and you gotta just be the guide if you want to get people to do stuff if you want them if you want to persuade and manipulate them into doing things that illuminate their potential, not exploit their blind spots. You have to take the steps required to make that happen. And you do that, again, by focusing on the peripheral route.